Is there such thing as foolproof coloring? Idiot-proof? Can't go wrong proof? I posit yes. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. Today I'm going to use my favorite combination, stamps that come with a stencil that allow you to color in your florals with ease. With no pens, no markers, just ink blending through open spaces that have been designed for you, or me, both of us. To see my card project with the foolproof coloring, it took me a little bit to get the hang of it, but the results, so good. Stick around, that card project is coming up next. I'm gonna try to do some idiot-proof coloring today, and I say idiot-proof with all the love to myself, but I don't want to color this with pencils. I want to color this with stencils. That rhymed. I didn't realize that. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to stamp this friend for sure. I don't know if I'm going to do the extras, but I'm going to make a very simple card, and I'm going to use the coordinating stencil to add some monochromatic pink throughout and some green, maybe some green. Yeah, because that's green there. So let me get started with stamping. I'm going to start out here by placing my stamps onto my paper, and I think I am going to cut this stuff out. Why not? Why not just go a little wild, have some fun? I don't know, you know, I don't completely know. That's what we're going to do. Maybe we'll do, you know what, I think I'm going to, and I'm not sure how this is going to work, and I may change my mind, and I may decide just to skip that, but we're going to start, and I think that's enough room to be able to stencil around. Now I am priming these a little with my fingers. Take some Memento Tuxedo Black. Okay. And I'm just gonna take my time and ink these up, and I'll probably stamp them twice to get a nice impression. Bring it down and use my Stampin' Bug to transfer the ink. Right, let's pick that up. Oh yeah, I kind of missed the center. There we go. I love when I can do that again. And again, we're going to go again. Make sure that's still in the corner and press. All right. What I will do is I'm going to clean these off really quickly. Just by wiping, making sure this is dry. And I'm going to go ahead and place these down here, pick those up, and stamp two more of, or one more each of that image and that image. Some lined up here. We're going to start, let's just kind of go around until we have that isolated. I'm going to bring my tape in. I'm going to tape you down like that. And we're going to tape, well, you know what? I'm going to tape this all down, but I am going to mask too. So I want to make sure that here we are masking off part of this. We are masking. So it's a little setup, right? You got to do a little setup if you want the big payday. Now, some of you might be saying, Cathy, wouldn't it be quicker just to grab a pen and color? Well, have you met me? It's not really my strong suit, but it's not my worst suit. Sometimes though, I just like this idea. So let me grab, I'm gonna go with the Carnation, okay? Carnation's gonna be my first color. Just gonna give it a good rub down. I'm not sure what I had on there last time. And I'm gonna hold this down as I go. Oh, I think this shouldn't move once it's on here, but we'll see. Get you over here. And we're just going to bring our color in to our flower. Like this. Maybe a little darker in the middle, like that. Come out softer. And you know, too, the other thing I could do, I could bring in one of my smaller brushes, which sometimes I forget to use, just to get that sort of darker little area going. Okay, like that. All right, that's pretty. Now, let's lift it up and we will see our first layer. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. So now I'm going to move on. I'm going to save all my tapes because why not? You got friend there and there. There. Oh my gosh, help me. Help me. Is that how we do it? Like that? Are we just, if I do this one first, at least I will have a bit. Oh, okay. You know what? We're going to do that one first because if I do this one, I will actually, I think, know where the others go. So again, I'm going to mask you off and bring in the rose color. All right. Hold that down. Come here now. Pick up the color and concentrate it a little more at the base and then just sort of blend it out. But I think it will look beautiful whether it's light or dark here because, right, we've got the different tones happening already of pink. But we're getting a little deeper in that center. And a little lighter. Like that. Okay. Sometimes these stencils take me a little while to figure out, but look at that. Ooh, Cathy. You're looking fancy. Now, I need to figure out, oh, this is going to be much easier. I'm going to wipe this down just a little bit here with my little stamp chamois just to get some of that pink out of the way. And I'm going to make sure to dry this off so I don't bring in any mucky muck, okay? Because I don't want, see how it brings in mucky muck? If you wet your stencil down, make sure that the back of it is dry before you come back in. Now I should be able to figure out the placement, right, with this because it's going to be, okay, see? So much easier. Mask, and I'm going to bring in the peony for this. And we're going to deepen over the top, okay? And of course, peony is, it's a bright one, so we're going to go, again, in the center a little heavier, like that, okay? And then out. Look at that. You know what, let's do this with a smaller, okay? Get in there, and then fade it out. And up. Yep, a little darker. Stencils just help you to get that going. All right, we're jumping in. We're jumping in a little. Okay. Now I think I have all my pinks. I mean, this is so simple, right? I'm not doing any kind of Herculean coloring other than look at the depth that that has. I mean, I think that is so cool. Okay, again, gonna wipe this off because now we're gonna move into our green layer and I really don't want to bring any pink into that layer. And it's just pretty easy to line up, right? You just kind of keep going until you see all the outlines. And I'm going to do, well, I don't even know if I need any masking tape. Well, I do. I don't know what that's for. Oh, that's for that one. Okay. And this here too. So just look for the little areas that might get in your way. Well, I'm going to be fussy cutting this, but I am going to take my lighter shade here of green, and this is called Sprout. Okay. Got a little sprout there. And honestly, for this one, I probably could just use my smaller brush. So haven't used this little guy in a while, so let's just give him a little rub down there. And I'm just going to load up load up our brush with some sprout and just bring that in. And this I'm less concerned about shading because the leaves are going to have a two-tone to them. And I think that's going to be very nice. I would like to propose that all floral stamp sets come like this because, you know, it's just so much easier than coloring for me. All right, get those going. I go both ways on my stencil like that. And I think that will be just lovely. Okay. And I need one more green that I will grab from my stash. I'm going to bring in Fairway. And again, let's pick this up. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, now that I wasn't expecting. I could have. Okay. I like it. I wonder if I want to go. No, I do think I want to go darker. I think I do. So let's tape you into place. A little bit of masking here and here. Well, maybe a little here too, because you know what? I should have done more. I get a little heavy-handed and I'm not sure where I'm going, so spare the rod, spoil the adhesive, I always say. Okay, now we're going to bring in the Fairway, which I wish I would have done that first, but let's just go light with it and see what happens. It's still going to give us two tones over both if I go light. You know what I mean? So I'm going pretty light-handed with this because I want these to retain two tones, I think. Like that. It's kind of cute. Now we are ready to reveal our lovely stenciled uncolored image. All right, let me get some scissors so I can fussy cut this out. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is just separate this. I'm not going to use these little friends at all. That's fine. Don't need them. Don't want them. Simple is good. But what I'm going to do is fussy cut this, and I think I will speed up, see, because I know people wonder, like, how do you do it, and are you any? I'm not that good at it. But what I do is I will trim down, get close at first, right? Now, I did do this on a heavier cardstock than perhaps I usually would, but that's because I wanted it to have some depth. So I'll put on a little soothing die cut or fussy cutting music, and let's see if this is all that hard to cut out. Okay, that is not bad. Now, if you noticed, I cut my little friends into points because I don't care about having that sort of rounded look, right? And here's a little tip. You can take a bone folder after you've done a fussy cutting and just go over the edge to just smooth it out. I always do this with fussy cutting because I feel like it just creates a really nice finish and also kind of flattens it back out because sometimes they get a little warped. But I actually think this looks really good. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this bloom, but I absolutely love how it looks. So let me think on this for a second, and then we will move on to create a card. So I've positioned my thanks for all you do. I kind of had this in place and I picked it up. I wasn't filming, so I thought I should show you what I did. And now I'm just priming my stamp, and I'm going to grab my embossing ink. Got my Versamark pad, and I'm going to powder up my cardstock because I want to emboss this in gold. So let's ink this up. Get this really nicely. I don't want to press too hard on this because it's all so delicate. So I'll bring this down, give a little transfer. Just let that transfer there. Lift. Make sure that hasn't moved and do it again. I don't think I messed that up, but I may have. Well, sometimes you mess things up. It's okay. You do them again. Let's see if this works. Grab my little paper catch and let's close you. I don't like to ever sprinkle embossing powder when I have my Versamark pad open because I always feel like one of these days I'm going to get a little too wild and I'm going to pour powder all over my embossing pad. All right. This is Ultrafine Antique Gold from Simon Says Stamp. It's a beautiful powder. It's very warm when it's melted. I just think it's so pretty. Ooh, that's nice. Isn't that nice? Look at the delicate. Oh yeah, okay, I like it. I think I'm gonna put a little more on. And I'll do a little dusting away. But I like this, I like the placement of that. Okay. And I'm gonna wipe off on my paper catch with my Swiffer anytime I use anything other than white or clear. There's just a little extra powder right in here. And I would like this to be as clean as possible. That actually looks really good. This brush is so great for that because it will sweep away any errant powder that you do not want. Oops, let's add a little more. Sometimes you accidentally do that. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Blooper reel fodder. Okay, the beautiful thing is your ink still stays sticky. Well, though it does it? Does that doesn't look like it's as good as it was. All right, well, okay. We're gonna see. I think we're gonna make it work. We're gonna try. But even still, I can still see where it grabbed powder. There's just some areas. Look at this one. This is even smaller. So again, you just go in and brush away what you don't want. If you do what I just did, just pour more powder on. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right, I think that's good enough. Let's heat up our heat tool and melt this powder. And now I have my nice warm dimensional panel. Good to go. Let's move on. This is what I'm thinking for the crop, because then the floral can sort of break out at least on two sides. I think that's good. I don't think it needs to break out on three sides. I think that is nice. The thanks looks very centered. So we're going to tape this down like that. Now I will grab my Gemini plates and I'm going to run this through my Gemini Junior off camera. Hopefully this will help to flatten it a little too because it gets a little warpy. All right, so now, see, I love this idea of having your panel and have something that sort of is just bursting out of the panel itself. Isn't that pretty? And here's what I can't decide. Do I want to flick that? Do I want, or do I want to have the leafery? No, I actually like that. That's how I like it. What I don't know is, what will the card base be? Very likely it's going to be white because that will be so clean. But let me just humor me. I'm going to pop that into my favorite book just for a few minutes. And once it's completely flat, we'll build our card. While that is flattening, I will just take, I'm getting low here. I have some Simon Says stamp squares. These are the thicker ones, which I kind of like. I kind of love that they have this higher loft. And because, you know, I don't have a lot happening on this card, this is really the star of the card, right? So let me clip that there. I'm going to give it just the right amount of support that it needs. And it really is going to just pop up and really be the star of the card. I'll get some cardstock ready as well so we can make our note card. I'm going to go ahead and score this. This will be a top folding US A2. So this is 11 inches by 4 1/4. So half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Like that. And before I fold it, I might as well stamp on my little custom stamp. I like to just gently hold the magnets here for a second. Now these magnets don't like hold it really steady, but it's nice because it just helps for not slipping. And then I'll just take one of the colors, probably the rose, and I'm going to use my little custom stamp. I've been trying to remember to do this. Sorry, that was a little loud. I've been trying to remember to do this more when I'm in the process of making the card while the inks are out, and I can have a nice greeting or the signature thing, you know, whatever this thing's called, the made by, and it will match my card project. So I had this was a gift actually from Jennifer McGuire when I first started making cards, but it is from Bossy Joscie, from Bossy, I think it's Joscie.com. I'll have a link in the description along with everything else for you. All right, now the magic of dye inks. Fold this down and give my note card a press. All right, I have foam tape on the back of this little panel, and I think I'm going to add a little liquid glue for my placement. The reason I do this is just so that there's a little bit of float time, just a little, you know, it helps. It helps, especially when you have something that you want to look really nice and place it in the right place. So, excuse my head for a second. As the top, oh, that margin. So, idiot-proof coloring, right? Now, here's the fun thing. This is what, a 4x6 stamp set and a stencil. And anytime you change out, right, you're going to have a different look depending on the colors you choose for your florals, which that I think is just so, so cool. Let's go like that. Now here I'm definitely doing the little daub of liquid glue on the squares, again, just for some float time. It's much more noticeable on something like this. And again, we want a little greenery popping out like that into the margin. Oh gosh, I love it. Oh, I love it so much. I love when you have a contained area, you break something out of that area, you have an extremely minimal greeting come down right connected to that element. I don't want to add anything else to this card. This is clean and simple happiness with a little bit of idiot-proof coloring. Thanks so much for watching today. You can find links to all of the supplies I used for today's card project in the YouTube description box. If you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you, so hit that subscribe button, and I will see you back here with another card project soon. For a few more simple thank you card ideas, check out the 2 thumbnails I have linked below, and I'll see you in those videos.